Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
The final day of the 2026 Senol NPL Women's Victoria regular season is upon us. And whilst the top six's makeup is mostly known, there is still plenty of shuffling to take place within that select group of playoff-bound competitors. And one of the most telling fixtures that will shape that race is set to kick off here out at Ashburton, as Alamein FC prepare to host FC Bulleen Lions on the final afternoon of this regular season. For Alamein, heartbreak last week against Melbourne Victory, conceding a goal in second half stoppage time, all but dashed their hopes of playing finals football. There is one very unlikely scenario that can happen to see them in, but they're likely out. However, they still can have a big say on who plays who next week in the opening day of the finals, as FC Bulleen Lions can either finish third or fourth based upon the result here today. A point for the Lionesses would be enough to see them lock in third place on the table. However, a defeat today combined with a win by Avondale over against Spring Hills would see them fall to fourth. Still hosting a final, but facing off against fifth on the table rather than the sixth place side that will be hosted by the third place finishers. So plenty of scoreboard watching to take place today. Of course, we're also keeping an eye on the results of Box Hill United and the Essendon Royals, first place on the table, not yet decided at this point. That race for the Premier's Plate coming down to the final day of the campaign. As we get the coin toss, we get the photographs observed here, the pre-game niceties. Certainly plenty of energy being shown by Alamein. Speaking with Coach John Kyrgios ahead of this game, he talked about regardless of how disappointing last week might have been, they're going to come out and do it the Alamein way, give a good account of themselves and make sure that they end the season on a high. Both sides have made, well, some changes for this game, which we'll take you through in a moment. Bulleen have made more of them, one eye on the finals. Just taking the opportunity to manage a few bodies, a few tired bodies, a few aching bodies. Coach Caitlin Friend's side, who, well, they've won most things during the tenure of Coach Caitlin Friend in the dugout, but they haven't won a championship. So certainly the former FC Bulleen Lions player as a striker, Melbourne Victory as a striker, will be doing everything she can to make sure her side is tip-top and ready to go for the playoffs, which means, yes, resting players, but it also means getting a result here today and going into those knockout fixtures with a head of momentum. So preparing for kickoff here at Dorothy West Labour Reserve. It's going to be the hosts Alamein wearing their all navy blue strips. Kicking from left to right of your screen in this opening half, FC Bulleen Lions in their away white shirt, maroon shorts, white socks. Nia Salah flashing a love symbol to the camera. I think I saw Chinatsu Shadara doing that as well during the pre-game lineups. So Bulleen kicking from right to left. The host, well, we've got changes in goal for both sides coming into this one. Olivia Cowan having, well, had absolutely no luck with concussion this season. She started the campaign like a house on fire, a number of clean sheets. Was here in round one when she kept out a high-powered Avondale as Alamein secured a 1-0 win in that game. She's back between the posts today, which for what I think is her first start since April 7. 4-0 win over Melbourne City in a catch-up fixture. Meanwhile, for FC Bulleen Lions, Alicia Urado, the 18-year-old, gets the start today. It's not her first ever league start. She started a couple of games in 2025, but it's her first appearance for the seniors, her first start for the seniors here in 2026 on the final day of the campaign. Miranda Templeman and Alyssa Dalost, the normal first choice keeper for both sides, serving as the backups today. Estelle Bugis, the Alamein skipper, she's also not featuring today. Concussion also ruling her out, but otherwise it's a mostly settled lineup for the hosts. As Jess Shilton just follows that one down the flank and sees it out. That largely settled backline, which is amongst the league's leaders in clean sheets throughout the campaign. Have conceded just the 27 goals all season, Alamein, so defensively hasn't been their problem. They're going to have to prove their worth now as Cordellino whips a ball in, looking for, well, Nikki Furukawa, who gets a rare start. Just her 4th start of the season for FC Bulleen Lions. It's making the switch mid-season from South Melbourne. Just her 7th total between Hellas and the Lionesses. Coach Caitlin Friends opting to start normal first choice outfielders Annie Yates, Claudia Mijicic, who returns after missing last week with a concussion, Olivia Bomford, Tiff Eliadis and Maya Markowski all on the bench. So if nothing else, the visitors should finish with a wet sail, assuming that they actually do turn to the subs in the second stanza. Meanwhile, Samalaski is back in the starting lineup after coming off the bench last week. Her first non-start of the league campaign. Had previously started all 23 of her regular season appearances, so Alamein's equal leading scorer will look to finish the season on a high herself. Nia Sala playing a central role, it appears, today. Or at least she was on that occasion. We'll have to see how Bulleen's shape evolves over the course of the contest. Shadara has had a fantastic season. Boots that one away. All the way back to Cowan. Savannah Anastopoulos does well, turning inside with Neve Dustin. She can keep the play moving. Ball intended for Nia Sala, picked out by Alamein. Shadara. Oh, just lets the ball run away from her. Cordellino comes in, but she can't find Kane. Dustin trying to keep it along the turf. Too close to the Lionesses' defence. And then JJ Garin getting a second straight start at centre-back in the absence of Claudia Mijicic from the 11. Puts it out. Cleo Angel making yet another start. Cleo Angel. It's her 6th start on the campaign, and they've all come in the past 6 weeks. Now Furukawa, a Canadian, stood up and forced backwards. Ever Brighter sends it back, and return ball, back post. Can't be met by players in blue or white. And eventually the ball will be seen out for a Cleo Angel throw-in on that left-hand flank central. Kane, first time ball to lay it off. Ball opening up for the Lionesses, but then Ashley Jordan can't get her boot around it and send it in on goal. Shadara boots it clear. Dustin can't quite bring it under control and find a teammate. Garin looking for Kane. Can't sneak it through. Players converge. Either side being clean with it, but Nikki Furukawa is going to win a free kick. As mentioned today, simultaneous kickoffs across Melbourne in the last day of the Senol NPL Victoria Women's Campaign. We'll bring you updates and on goals from around the grounds as they come in. Can tell you, I'm looking at my handy Sofa Score app, as of yet, no goals across the city. Goose eggs everywhere. And Shilton does well to get the ball forward. Archdeacon lays it off. Runnels couldn't turn it around the corner, but the bounce will favour Alamein. Dustin onto the left peg, again just trying to slide the ball in behind for Emma Runnels. Dustin can have another go, and well, she found Runnels there. Unfortunately, I don't think she actually intended to, hammering it into her breadbasket. Bulleen under a bit of strife here, having to work the ball out. Riders flicks it up. Cordelino. Shilton in there for Alamein. Stasopoulos as well. Kane comes up with it for Bulleen. Garrett. For Cordelino's run. Chinatsu Shidara has read it very well. Keeps calm, keeps her head, finds a teammate. Now maybe a bit of space for Anastasopoulos to run into. Players arriving in the middle, but they're not going to be able to be found before Kat Ranahan nipped across, and it would have been rendered redundant anyway, as the assistance flag has been raised over on that attacking right-hand flank of Alamein. So a spirited start to this contest. Signs of intent from both sides, but as of yet, nothing to properly quicken the pulse of either goalkeeper. We're probably going to be very thankful for that, given, as we said, neither have exactly been playing regular senior minutes this campaign. And that one is going to roll out of play before Maddie Rakic is going to get a chance to chase it down. So Alamein ball, defensive left-hand flank. Just about 10 minutes gone here at Dorothy Westlaver Reserve. Score remains Alamein 0, FC Bulleen Lions 0. 0-0 scoreline replicated across Melbourne. Although, is that about to change here as Urano comes charging out? The bounce, though, will come out, scramble, and the header from JG Garin. A telling one, preventing the ball from bouncing through, but Alamein charging forward once more, and that's surely a free kick on the edge of the area. JG Garin sending Archdeacon flying. And now, wind at their backs. Perhaps a scent of blood in the water. Alamein. No, it's a penalty. My apologies. I thought she'd got her outside the penalty area. In fact, it looks like it's been awarded a penalty. So, even better for Alamein. And Neve Dustin with an opportunity to put the hosts ahead less than 15 minutes in. And she absolutely thunders that one into the bottom corner of the net to give Alamein a 1-0 lead in this contest out in Ashburton, but to also give Avondale a chance to vault into third place if they can take the lead over Spring Hills. That live ladder now giving the Avengers an opportunity to vault up the table as FC Bulleen Lions fall into an early deficit. So the penalty won by Archdeacon, converted by Dustin. Her 7th of the campaign. Second in 3 weeks. Her last goal came in a 3-0 win over Spring Hills a few weeks ago. And it is a big goal, the first scored in this final round of the Senol NPL Women's Victoria campaign. Can it be followed by a second? No, not quite. Savannah Anastasopoulos unable to chase that one down. Well, I did tell you, John Kerry was telling me before kickoff that Alamein were going to come out and put their best foot forward, and they've certainly done that. Jordan not able to keep that one in. Not the best combination there between Angel and Bridus. Shilton sends it central where it's headed wide by Ronalds. Anastasopoulos, good ball to the back post, cleared off the line. But not convincingly sent clear by the Lioness, it's sent back into the penalty area by Dakota Tyson. Alamein continuing to hunt, peels for an offside flag, and they will come. But under some significant pressure in these last few exchanges, FC Bulleen Lions, who have at times this campaign proven susceptible to conceding goals, I should say, in bunches. Generally, pretty consistently defensively good. In fact, they enter today as the second best defence, equal second best defence in the Senol NPL Women's Victoria. Themselves and Avondale, 26 goals conceded. Only South Melbourne have conceded fewer. But if you can get them for one, there have been a few times this season where a second or maybe even a third has soon followed. Angel. Back off for change, Garin. To Kat Renahan. Played 56 games with 1 goal for Alamein over a few campaigns before moving across to the Veneto club. Scored a long-range bomb of a free kick last week, did Kat Renahan, to put Bulleen ahead against Spring Hills. How much she actually meant it versus it was a touch of fortune about it. Who knows? But she's going to have to get back and defend now. Anastasopoulos keeps the play move in, but before the ball can just sit up for Somalaski, Alicia Irado is out to claim it. For grabs in the middle now. Salah rises to nod it on. Jordan keeps going. Nikki Furukawa Long range, it took a touch, and it's a touch that induces Olivia Cohen to fly to her left and just palm the ball out for an FC Bulleen Lions corner. Well, we do have a goal. It's out at BT Connor Reserve, where Melbourne Victory have taken a 1-0 lead over the Preston Lions in their game. So that one between two sides that won't be playing finals football. Neither in danger of relegation either. That one sewed up a while ago. The Bentley Greens and Melbourne City going down. Ball whipped into the top of the 6-yard box. Cohen with a big strong punch. And she was made to pay for it by the pack that had formed, but in doing so he's going to be awarded a free kick. And whilst gingerly getting to her feet, looks like she's going to be all right to continue. Savannah Anastasopoulos just, well, grabbing her by the brim of the cap to make sure. Before she jogs out to her position on the right flank. And Cohen gets us going once more, playing the ball to Chinatsu Shidara. Bombs it long. Where Renahan meets it. Flicks it across to Cleo Angel. Archdeacon trying to claim it back for Alamein, and her pressure is good because it's going to force the error from JJ Garron. Never brightest. Tyson at her back. Kane sends it clear. Around the corner from Ash Jordan. Appeals for a free kick as Furukawa is brought down. Nothing coming from the referee, however. Shidara. Back to her goalkeeper. Couldn't bustle her way through, and despite Samalaski's appeals, it's going to be a Bulleen ball. Reynolds with the press. Renahan shows her a pair of heels as she carries it forward, plays it through for Ash Jordan, but it's a good strong challenge from Leakopoulos to force the ball out, albeit it's going to give Bulleen an opportunity to get some numbers forward now. Furukawa lofts it up, but too much on it as it bounces out across to the opposite flank. Cordolino. Back to Angel. Sarah Kane. Herded back. Salah. Kane. Kat Renahan. Furukawa. Lost the ball. Now there's space. Anastasopoulos had to wait for it to arrive. Gave Angel a step. And Cleo Angel is gonna, well, she'll see the ball out for a throw-in. Unable to clear the ball away, but at least able to prevent Savannah Anastasopoulos from advancing in on goal. Decent headed effort there directly from the throw-in. Fortunately for Emma Runnels, it was straight at Alicia Urado. Nonetheless, it will go down as a shot on target. In a game in which Alamein are increasingly finding themselves on top. And again, get the ball into the penalty area. And Stasopoulos, she had to go back and get it after the initial pass from Emma Runnels. Did well to do so. Just sends it high and wide. Cordolino. Shilton did very well to take it off her. Only for Bulleen to win it right back. But Shilton again. Good ball down the right. And sent into the top of the box, but nobody there wearing blue to meet it. Shilton with a quick throw in. Eve Dustin, who scored from the spot to put Alamein ahead. Shadara, her ball through. And again, just nobody there making a run wearing blue. So a comfortable claim from Alicia Urado. And we do have a goal out at Lakeside Stadium scored by South Melbourne, who now lead the Essendon Royals 1-0. So that's a goal that simultaneously moves Hellas up into 5th on the live ladder. And it's also one that gives Box Hill, currently drawing 0-0 with Melbourne City, one hands on the Premier's plate. Remember, the Royals need to win, and then they need to hope that Box Hill doesn't pick up maximum points against Melbourne City. Meanwhile, Shilton has gone down, holding what appears to be her left heel. The Kiwi in a bit of discomfort. You've got Jordan Tom's wedge, Anais Josefsky, Matilda Lowry, Mia Ralph, Harriet Lowry as outfield options on the bench for coach John Curious. Matilda Lowry back in the side after a bit of an absence. Shilton back up to take the throw in, which is headed central by Runnels. Kane continues to flick it central for Ava Brightus. Jordan can't quite bring it down. Furukawa goes to collect. And then her central delivery is deflected away for another FC Bulleen Lions corner. So they were able to move the ball quickly there, the Lionesses, and ask a few questions. So heaving massive bodies assemble in that 6-yard box as the Lionesses lift it in. Will spill, but Furukawa didn't make clean contact on it, and even if she had, it would not have counted, as the flag had came up signalling that it was Alamein's ball. And meanwhile, we have had further goals from around the grounds, a couple of big ones. Out at Lakeside Stadium, it is now South Melbourne 2, Essendon 0. 2 goals in 3 minutes have Hellas in the ascendancy over the Essendon Royals. Meanwhile, out west, Avondale have taken a 1-0 lead over Spring Hills. So as it stands on the live ladder, Avondale are up to 3rd, South Melbourne are up to 5th. Renehan just get the ball caught up beneath her. Alamein ball. But Dustin's going to give away the free kick. So as it stands on the live ladder, Box Hill would win the Premier's Plate. Essendon would finish 2nd. And then in the first week of the finals, it would be Avondale hosting Boroondara and FC Bulleen Lions hosting South Melbourne. Renehan, JJ Garron, Shilton sends it back inside. Stasopoulos can't win the ball. That's well defended from Cleo Angel. Knocks it forward. Cordellino pumping those arms, trying to chase it down, but she's not going to get there before Shadara, who puts the ball calmly into touch. So half an hour gone across Melbourne, and the cat has thrown itself amongst the pigeons. Alamein leading FC Bulleen Lions, giving Avondale the ability to vault them with that lead they've secured over Avondale. South Melbourne ahead against Essendon, giving Box Hill one hand on the Premier's Plate. As we've had a couple of attacks from either side snuffed out by the assistants' flags. These last few exchanges. Still 0-0 down at Casey Fields between Melbourne City and Box Hill United. Also 0-0 in Boroondara against Keilor Park. Heidelberg United, meanwhile, they've taken a 1-0 lead over the Bentley Greens, as the Burgers look to finish what has been a down campaign of theirs, given compared to their recent lofty standards. Finish it on a high nonetheless against already relegated Bentley. Did have confirmation of the promoted sides yesterday on the final day of the VPLW season. Eltham already had secured their promotion. They'll be joined by Bundoora, who secured a big win on the final day of the season, a 4-1 win over Banyule to secure their promotion. Heartbreak for Brunswick Juventus going down to the Geelong Galaxy and slipping down the table. And Shilton can't keep that one in. We also have seen Caroline Springs, George Cross, the Steph Catley Plate winners. They secured their promotion from the State League 1 Northwest. So they'll be in the VPLW next season. Beaumaris look like they're well positioned to join them. Got a 1-0 win over Croydon on Friday night, but, well, if they drop their final game of the campaign, and they still technically can be overtaken by Seaford and South Yarra if they win out. There's Matty Rakic Alamein then the other before laying it back off. The JG Garron, who's going to be absolutely monstered by Archdeacon, was able to keep the ball and eventually knocked clear to Nia Salah by Bulleen. Angel goes down but got rid of the ball before she did. Kane has it taken away from her. Samalaski unable to convert. It's a poor ball given straight back to Alamein, who are going to get themselves a free kick on that left-hand flank. Chelsea Blissett winning it. Chelsea Blissett's 8th start in what is her 8th league appearance since joining mid-campaign from Melbourne Victory. Not the best free kick, doesn't beat Kat Ranahan, the first offender for Okawa. First time ball out to the opposite flank. It's going to find Cordellino with space to operate in. Space rapidly being closed down by a couple of Alamein players, who will put the ball out for a throw-in. Angel to Jordan. And it poked away from her. So Bulleen will lose themselves a few metres, but get another throw. Over the head of Jordan. A bounce over the head of Anastasopoulos as well, who recovers enough to put the ball out for a throw-in just in front of the corner flag on that attacking left-hand flank for FC Bulleen Lions. Ava Brightus. Runnels does enough to flick it across for Chelsea Blissett. Dakota Tyson. Shilton has been good in this opening half for Alamein, as has Savannah Anastasopoulos on this right-hand flank. Anastasopoulos trying to combine with Archdeacon, sort of took it off her teammate's laces in the end, did the winger. Desired effect was reached. Subsequent delivery in, though, couldn't find a teammate. Danger not cleared, however. Neve Dustin out there on the left. Well, looking for the far post to just try to sneak it in. Play still alive, after it was just palmed away by Irado. Cheeky, but almost effective by Neve Dustin. Meanwhile, out at Spring Hills, Avondale have a 2-0 lead over the hosts. So, Coach Del Donnelly's side holding up their side of the bargain out in Melbourne's West. Shilton hurls the ball central for Leokopoulos, who only can find Nia Salah in the middle of the park. She'll go down. Free kick. So players getting forward for Bulleen. As Bridus lofts it into the penalty area. Headed away. Stasopoulos unable to clear it further. Second attempt. Snuffed out by Nia Salah. Some fancy footwork. Flicking it back central. Couldn't find Jordan before it was picked out by Chinatsu Shidara. Furukawa now for the Lionesses. Can't find a teammate. Shidara clears it away. See Bulleen Lions throw in just in front of the Alamein dugout. Furukawa for Bridus, got underneath that one. Able to string together a few attacking opportunities, Bulleen. Probably what they needed heading into the halftime break. Have been mostly on the back foot, you have to say, for most of this opening 45 minutes. Alamein producing the better of the chances. They've done a very good job with their pressing and not giving Bulleen time to try to build up. As we see Bulleen try to give them a taste of their own medicine here, forcing the turnover from on high. Was Neve Dustin converting from the spot to put Alamein ahead after Archdeacon won the penalty. Anastasopoulos, who stayed high after pressing Garin. Battling with her now. Garin looks going to lay it off, but lurking ominously was Emma Runnels. The 18-year-old will escape with a goal kick. Has been playing regularly for the under-20s, Alicia Irado. Kept the 4 clean sheets for them throughout this campaign across 24 starts. And as mentioned, this is her first senior league start this season. The one previous game that Alyssa Dalost didn't start. In 2026, we had Emily Shields between the posts for that one. A win over South Melbourne a while ago now. Shilton shields it from Cordellino. Leokopoulos. Archdeacon just carried it across to the left. That one's knocked clear for an Alamein throw-in. We've got another goal out at Lakeside Stadium where the Essendon Royals have pulled one back before half-time. So that's one's now South Melbourne 2, Essendon 1. As that's a good ball in behind for Alamein, but it's going to be just lifted over the crossbar. A chance to deliver what would have been a rather devastating second goal just before half-time, almost coming from Emma Runnels. But Bulleen survive. Bridus to Furukawa. Her ball is going to get picked up by Dakota Tyson. Will spill out. Nikki Furukawa. Central to over Bridus. Shrugs off one challenge. Runs into a brick wall. Is forced to find it. Nikki Furukawa. High ball in. Headed away by Shidara. Angel to Sarah Kane. Ava Bridus. Bulleen throw in on that right flank. For Okawa. Well, the top of the box. Headed away by Neve Dustin. Runnels. Necessary challenge from Kat Renahan. Just threw herself at it. Shilton picks the ball back out for Alamein. Carries it into Bulleen's side of the park. Space for Shadara. Chelsea Blissett. To Aliakopoulos, who in turn plays it to Chinatsu Shadara. It's a poor pass out. Ava Bridus claims it. Flicks it over one player. Comes in and takes it away from the second. Shanks it, but it will set up nonetheless for Nia Sala. Back onto the right foot, trying to find an angle on goal. Charge down. Spills to Furukawa with the effort. Deflected away by Leakopoulos. So a half chance, a sniff for FC Bulleen Lions. Can't be converted. Furukawa. Chelsea Blissett at her back. Gains a few metres and another throw in. Leakopoulos picks it out and puts it out for another corner for Bulleen, which they've had a few of across this opening stanza, just unable to make any of them count. To now, at least, will this be a turning point just before the half-time break? We've gone just about 45 odd minutes here at Dorothy Westlaver Reserve. Bulleen players assembling at the top of the box before peeling off to make their runs. High ball in, and it's headed on goal by Ava Bridus, but not on goal enough. Just bouncing, if you are of the Bulleen persuasion, on the wrong side of the post and out for a goal kick. Very much the right side of the post if you are an Alamein aficionado. So booted clear, but only as far as Nikki Furukawa, who sticks a leg out and sends it back a few metres and out for a throw-in. Chelsea Blissett to take over on that left-hand flank. Salah laid it off to Kane, who left the ball behind. And now there's some space out here on the right, which Alamein are going to try to burst into. Archdeacon got it to Shilton. Angel trying to make the recovery. Shilton to the top of the box. Deflected, battered around. Bulleen trying to clear it. Salah's headed to Cordellino. Exposed too much of it to go to Tyson. Sarah Kane coming through. Only as far as Archdeacon. Blissett sends it out to the left. Combining with Runnels. The sliding challenge coming in from Maddie Rakic was a good one. Maddie Rakic making her first start since round 15 today. Came off the bench last week as Bulleen came from behind to beat Spring Hills. They're going to have to come from behind again if they're to claim 3 points in this one. They only need a point to lock in third spot on the table, regardless of the result in Avondale and Spring Hills. The Avengers still leading 2-0 in the dying embers of the first half in that one. Right now, they've got to get back and defend this corner to prevent themselves from falling into a 2-0 hole. And it's just going to ricochet off the crossbar. So maybe an Olympico in mind, maybe. Well, it's now lost to the realm of conjecture, speculation and nostalgia. So we've gone half-time here, as well as at grounds across Melbourne, where in Dorothy West Labour Reserve it is Alamein that holds a 1-0 lead after Neve Dustin converted from the spot in the 12th minute to put the hosts ahead. And as it stands on the live Senol NPL Women's Victoria table, consign FC Bulleen Lions to a 4th place finish in combination with Avondale currently holding a 2-0 lead over Spring Hills. It's 0-0 out at Casey Fields between Melbourne City and Box Hill United. South Melbourne 2-1 over the Essendon Royals in their game at Lakeside, meaning that the Premier's Plate would be heading to Wembley Park if results hold across the second 45 minutes. But intrigue abounds across the Victorian women's top flight as we head into half-time breaks across the city. 15 minutes or so of those to be acknowledged before the second stanzas of these games can get underway. We're sure to have plenty of twists and turns and moments of excitement to come, so be sure to join us on the other side for all of the action for that one. We'll see you then. Welcome back, one and all, to what has turned into a absolutely glorious afternoon in Ashburton as the final round of the Senol NPL Women's Victoria season continues. The final 45 minutes of this regular campaign about to conclude as Alamein into the second stanza of their showdown with FC Bulleen Lions leading 1-0 thanks to a penalty from Neve Dustin. So as it stands on the live ladder with just under an hour of the regular season remaining, FC Bulleen Lions have slipped to fourth on the table below Avondale, who entered the halftime break of their clash with Spring Hills in the ascendancy. Coach Caitlin Friend's side looking to stage a comeback that would not only secure them a third place finish, but also give them momentum heading into the first week of the playoffs as Alamein look to see off 2026 on a high. My name's Joey Lynch. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for this second half on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. No matter where you happen to be it in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed tuning in from anywhere around the world. So many family and friends for our international contingent in the Senol NPL Women's Victoria are always tuning into the streams from the likes of the United States, Japan, United Kingdom. Thank you for your company throughout the regular season, and we hope to see you in the playoffs as well. As Alamein have themselves an early corner here in this second stanza, looking to double up on their lead. Driven in low towards the near post, but booted clear. So it's been a good performance from John Kyrgios' side thus far this afternoon. Good value for their 1-0 lead. Maybe unlucky not to have one or two more. As that ball spills out, is met by Furukawa, who just knocks it clear first time beyond Chelsea Blissett, but subsequently only finding the touchline. And though they will all but certainly miss finals football, Alamein today, while they needed to beat FC Bulleen to retain a chance of playing finals football, and they also needed South Melbourne to lose to the Essendon Royals. South Melbourne currently leading the Royals 2-1, and they also needed a 17-goal swing in goal difference. So, all but. And that was the result of what was a heartbreaking 93rd minute winner from Melbourne Victory last week at the home of the Matildas against Alamein, but has nonetheless been a season of progress for Alamein. They did start the season unbeaten across their opening month, 3 wins from the first 4 games. Regardless of what happens this afternoon, they've already recorded their most points and wins in a single season since the 2019 campaign, which was also the last time they played finals football. They were such a good team back then, 2019. I remember the likes of Julia Sardo, Akeisha Sandu, Rachel Alonso running around for them. Some very good teams in the early NPLW era, did Alamein. Good coaches as well. Sinisa Kajastic, who's now in charge of South Melbourne's men during their run to the last 4 of the Men's Australia Cup. Kat Smith as well, who went on to coach Western United in the A-League Women. Meanwhile, Karen Alamein coming down the left, but the ball in from Samalaski's one she'd probably want back. Bouncing all the way out. Archdeacon keeping the play alive. He's already won 1 penalty. Kept her footing on that occasion. Under a bit of pressure before the ball smashed in towards the near post before being cleared away. And it will be another corner for Alamein. Again, as has happened on a few occasions throughout this contest. The delivery is not the best. That one going straight out for a FC Bulleen Lions goal kick. And Alicia Urado gets us going again, opting not to don a cap as Olivia Cowan did in the opening half. Cowan has kept the headwear on, even with the switching ends. Now standing in the shade on the opposite side of the park, away from the Ashburton contest taking place on the other ground behind us, or next to us, I should say, from the perspective of our broadcast position. Natsu Shadara intercepting and bursting forward. Rakic taking it back for Bulleen. Eva Bridus advancing forward. She's got Nikki Furukawa on her right, but space to run into. And then knocking it forward, Jordan! Just unable to get it down with the header. And Bulleen's best look of the game by a considerable margin, agonisingly close to tying this game up. Fantastic delivery from Ava Bridus. Jordan's header, so close to her fourth goal of the campaign. And can that potentially be the spark that the Lionesses require? They only need a point to lock in third place on the table. An equaliser would do it for them. They're going to have to get back and defend us. Oh, that ball in. Runnels looking for Lasky, just sliding out and just unable to get a touch on it. So golden opportunities at both ends, unable to be converted. Perhaps a sign of the game opening up. As Bridus' ball intended for the run of Nikki Furukawa goes behind her. Shadara keeps the play moving out to the right. Shilton to Anastasopoulos. She's forced out, but last came off a Bulleen player. Quick throw into Shilton. Comes barreling through. The ball will ricochet out, but will ricochet out to an offside Emma Runnels. Alamein dugout. All the players sitting there observing. Bibs on. The Bulleen substitutes bench is up, warming up. We've got Alyssa Dalost, Annabelle Yates, Claudia Miocic, Olivia Bomford, Tiff Eliadis and Maya Markovsky. All been getting limber. One wonders when and who Caitlin Friends will turn to in this second stanza. There's Kane, challenged by Archdeacon. Held the ball up well. Eva Bridus pokes it across to Nikki Furukawa. Goes past Blissett, but a follow-up pass is a poor one. And now an opportunity for Alamein to break quickly. Summerlasky. The American onto the left boot. Shot takes a touch, but it's met at the far post by an offside Emma Runnels. She was in a perfect position to turn that one in, but that was because she was coming from an offside position. Cordolino has that one booted away from her by Shilton. Meanwhile, out at Spring Hills, Avondale have scored a third. So they are cruising to 3 points, the Avengers. They'll head into finals with a lot of momentum behind them. It remains to be seen whether they'll do so in third or fourth. As it stands on the live ladder, they'll do so in third. Over Bridus, long-range effort, slices wide. Meanwhile, maybe on the opposite end of the momentum stakes, Burundara trails Keilor Park 2-0. So the Eagles slipping to 6th on the live ladder with that result, and not exactly the way you want to be heading into finals football. Shadara is able to work the ball around and ensure that last came off Alana Cordolino. Bulleen substitutes back in their dugout, but none appear to be shedding a bib just yet. Yeah, Salah out to Bridus, seeing more of the ball in this second stanza. Nikki Furukawa stood up by Chelsea Blissett. Maddie Rakic. Forced backwards to Kat Ranahan. Rakic tries to just snake her way around Chelsea Blissett, who is flummoxed as the signal comes in that it's going to be a corner for Bulleen. Not too many complaints from her teammates. So another set-piece opportunity for Bulleen, this time a corner from the right flank. You've got Nia Salah to take. But as we've seen from a few set-pieces today, from Alamein previously, that ball failing to, well, had to have come in at some point, but immediately going back out again, and possession gifted to the opposition. So approaching an hour around the grounds here in Melbourne. This one's still Alamein 1, FC Bulleen Lions 0. It's 3-0 to Avondale in their clash out at Spring Hill. South Melbourne continue to lead Essendon 2-1. Box Hill and Melbourne City is still 0-0 out at Casey Fields. It's 2-1 to Preston at Jenna Steele Stadium against Melbourne Victory. 2 second-half goals seeing Preston take the lead. Heidelberg continue to lead the Bentley Greens 1-0. Keilor Park 2-0 up over Burundara. As Furukawa was with the sliding challenge on Chelsea Blissett and knocking the ball last off the Alamein left back. Jordan does well. Bit of space on the right. Low ball in. Couldn't find a teammate. Shadara's clearance. Runnels battling for it with Maddie Rakic, the 2-10s. Jordan. A pass intended for Furukawa, intercepted by Blissett. Ball over the top from Somolaski. Anastasopoulos gives chase. And reads the play well to take it off Cleo Angel, at least for a moment, before conceding the throw-in. Salah, pressured by Leakopoulos. Ball comes out to Cleo Angel, to Sarah Kane. First time pass, giving Jordan something to chase. Shadara kept her head, cleared it skyward. Blissett took it off the toes of Kane. It's Somolaski on the left, instead goes central to Dustin. Swings it out to the right. Anastasopoulos gives chase, does well to keep it in. Spills to the top of the box where Dustin will meet it with a decent effort. And Urado down to her knees and gets her hands down to prevent it from scooting underneath her and through to the goals. Well, it looks as though we are getting some paperwork submitted by the Bulleen dugout, and 2 changes being made by the Lionesses. So Tiff Eliadis and Maya Markowski preparing to come on. Tallest outfielder in A-League women history, Maya Markowski, so there's not too many players you're going to confuse her for. She awaits her summons. Shadara sends that one out. And now the change will come. So Nia Sala will make way for Tiff Eliadis. And it's going to be Nikki Furukawa making way for Maya Markowski. The 2 outbound players will just amble off on the side closest to us, make the long walk around the pitch and allow their teammates to get on quickly. So Maya Markowski and Tiff Eliadis introduced with just about half an hour of football to remain. Their team in a 1-0 deficit. And an early touch from Maya Markowski, but she's unable to combine with a teammate. Markowski coming into this one off the back of a brace to beat Spring Hills last week. 3-2 win for FC Bulleen Lions, ensuring that Maya got bragging rights in the Markowski derby over her father, Spring Hills coach Tom Markowski. Perhaps just as importantly, broke what was a 6-game goalless run for Markowski, bringing her up to 21 on the campaign. Actually, one more than she scored in her Golden Boot winning campaign from a few years ago. As Jordan flicks it up, Markowski trying to bring it down, but Shadara putting a body on her and preventing her from swinging a boot around. Bulleen striker second on the Golden Boot standings coming into this round, but she's not going to catch the runaway leader, Kelly McGrawdy. The Essendon striker coming into today, needing 1 goal to tie Catherine Zimmerman's 2019 for the 3rd most prolific Golden Boot winning campaign in the Victorian women's top flight since 2002. So the American has been an inspired signing for the Essendon Royals, attracting A-League women interest from several clubs with her goal-scoring exploits. There's Runnels. The early delivery in, looking for Samalaski. Couldn't combine, but good pressure to keep the ball up there. The ball, well, just died. At the top of the box, Neve Dustin couldn't turn it in. This pitch has, as one would expect, the last game of the regular season. Bit of wear and tear on it. Bit patchy in places. Not just the players that need a break when the off-season rolls around. Shilton did well to turn it central for Dakota Tyson. Now Bulleen will take it back. Kane pokes it through for Eliadis. Tried to slide it through for Markowski. Second attempt is a good one from Jordan, but the reaction is excellent from Jess Shilton. Getting across in a flash and poking it away. Rakic just wanted to let it run, but that allowed her opponent to nip in the form of Somolaski. But it won't cost Bulleen, as Eliadis now gets it to Markovski, to Jordan. Charged down by Chelsea Blissett. And 3 changes being prepared by Bulleen. They are emptying the bench. Annabelle Yates coming on. Claudia Mijicic coming on. And confirmation, yep, Olivia Bomford coming on as well. So Kat Renahan making way, Alana Cordolino making way. And looks like Maddie Rakic making way as well. So everyone bar Alyssa Dalost thrown on by Caitlin Friend in search of an equaliser. Mijicic back from concussion and showing a good bit of touch there to take it away from an attacker. And then that ball just snaking away and over the crossbar for a goal kick. Meanwhile, out at Casey Fields, Box Hill United have taken a 1-0 lead over Melbourne City. So it was being rendered slightly redundant by South Melbourne with possessing a 2-1 lead over the Royals, but Pythagoras well on their way to sealing a Premier's plate with a victory. Markowski giving chase. Flicking it onwards, looking for Jordan. Intercepted by Chelsea Blissett. Eliadis couldn't bring it in. Some space, perhaps, for Alamein to advance in. And Eliadis is going to get pinged just for the impediment she provides. Just slow it down. Escapes the yellow card, though, it looks like. Archdeacon, and the worse for wear, gets back up onto her feet. Bulleen ball. So with just about 20 minutes to go across the grounds on the final day of the Senol NPL Victoria Women's regular season, Box Hill on the way to securing the Premier's plate. Themselves, they and the Essendon Royals will get a week off in the first week of the playoffs. As it stands, Avondale would host Burundara in the opening week of the finals, and FC Bulleen Lions would host South Melbourne. So that's the same matchups we had coming into the round, albeit it's now come with Avondale moving up to 3rd and Burundara falling to 6th on the live ladder. Still, 20 minutes of football to go for all of that to change. And here at Dorothy West Laver, we've seen Bulleen empty their bench to try to find an equaliser, albeit this back line of Alamein, which has been strong all year, has to now proven well up to the task. Indeed, it certainly hasn't been a problem defensively for Alamein all season. Told you about the goal difference swing they needed coming into this game to try to overhaul South Melbourne. They've only conceded 2 more goals than South throughout the campaign, but up the other end, South Melbourne currently, as it stands, 48 goals scored. Alamein just the 33. So just when it came down to that final ball, that final pass, that final shot, that's where Alamein have been haunted. As the hosts now preparing a double change, it looks like. Priya Archdeacon is one of the players that will make way, as is Dakota Tyson. Matilda Lowry will be one of the players coming on. It's Jordan Tom's wedge confirmation coming in that's the other player who has come on for Alamein. As John Kyrgios looks to see out final win of him this season. Shilton heading that one back to Cohen to secure what would be a 13th win in the campaign for Alamein. So trying to secure a 500 winning record throughout the regular season. As I mentioned, this, even if it doesn't finish with finals football, this Alamein's best season when it comes to wins and points since 2019. So Molaski working against the newly introduced Annabelle Yates, and the ball is cleared away for a throw-in. So you've got Jordan Tom's wedge, who's come on to play as a 6 to the lower, a bit further up the park. Jordan trying to keep it in, but that enables Blissett to nip in front, take the ball away, pull the ball away. Shilton's pass forward, intended for Emma Runnels, but well over her head. That one's gone over the head of Shilton. Markowski attempted to burst in behind. Shadara staying on her very well. Denying her twice, the Japanese centre-back. Miocic trying to reset things for Bulleen. Eliadis lofts it up. Bounces out to the right-hand flank. Well done by Ash Jordan. Low ball in, but there's nobody there to meet it. Now bursting forward in a hurry is Alamein, looking for the second, but well done. Alicia Urado charging out to snuff out the danger, at least for now. The teenager making her first senior start of the season in its final rounds. Coming up big for her side as they keep it to a 1-0 deficit. And Urado coming out again to claim before Emma Runnels can run onto it. Miocic, high ball out. Fortunate bounce for Bulleen. Markowski, first time pass for Eliadis, who had just strayed into an offside position. So another attack for the visitors comes to naught. Header flicked on. There's Josefsky, newly introduced into the game, keeps the play going. Whipped in by Dustin, cleared away by Bulleen. Miocic. Alamein wanted a penalty. Referee not of the same opinion. Throw in for Alamein on that right-hand attacking flank. In front of the Alamein Angels sign. Nodded on, where it's met, but it's crocketed into the crossbar. By Matilda Lowry, the follow-up deflected away. Chelsea Blissett came charging in there for the second attempt, and by the skin of their teeth, Bulleen survive with just a 1-0 deficit. Tom's wedge, nods it on. Lasky to Blissett. Lowry. Challenge from behind fairly, according to the referee, and that snuffs the attack out. So Shadara looks to come again. Josefsky, ball to the top of the box. Where Tom's wedge met it, and met it rather well, but the whistle had already sounded. Couple more changes for Alamein. Samalaski coming off. Mia Ralph preparing to come on. Harriet Lowry as well, looking like she's about to receive her summons. Emma Runnels appears to be the one making her way off. And she'll give the armband to Chinatsu Shadara before she leaves. So sub swung by both sets of coaches. Just over 10 minutes remaining in this clash. Alamein holding on to a 1-0 lead. Avondale have a fourth against Spring Hill, so they are cruising. Still 2-1 out at Lakeside to South Melbourne. Box Hill still leading Melbourne City 1-0. Boroondara have got one back against Keilor Park. That one now 2-1 to Keilor heading into the final stages. And again, Alamein just trying to burst in behind Josefsky with her pace. It's proven such a challenge for the Lioness defence since she came on. Certainly the momentum that looked to be building from the series of changes Bulleen made have been answered by the changes from John Kyrgios in the Alamein dugout, seizing momentum back. Ralph couldn't control that one. So the ball is knocked clear in the Jordan direction. Goes over her and Chelsea Blissett. Matilda Lowry lifts it onwards. Cleared away by Bulleen. Markowski to Jordan. Ball will find its way to Eliadis, who lays it off for Markowski. Bomford tried to flick it on, appeals for a handball, waved off. Harriet Lowry just has to watch that one find the touchline. Eliadis goes down, that'll be a free kick. Tom's wedge. Just a bit too enthusiastic with the challenge from behind. So, JG Garrett to swing something. It's a similar position to where Kat Renahan scored last week against Spring Hills, albeit that's not exactly the most sustainable approach on goal. Garrett instead looks to find a teammate. Spills to the top of the box. Sarah Kane over the crossbar. Kane, she's got 4 goals on the campaign, unless coming back in round 17. But the 2022 gold medalists, with FV emerging, unable to get that one down and under the crossbar. So cries of lock it in from the Bulleen dugout as Alamein have themselves a throw in. Well, a big goal out at Lakeside. South Melbourne now lead Essendon 3-1. So South Melbourne simultaneously coming into finals with a head of steam and snuffing out any hopes Essendon would have had of a Premier's plate. Lowry trying to charge through. She collided with Urado. The players continued. Harriet Lowry has just dragged it wide. The open goal, but under pressure. Just trying to get it off. The 22-year-old just couldn't get it on target. That surely would have secured the win for Alamein, but Bulleen still have a pulse in this one. How long? Well, as Neve Dustin goes down, winning a free kick in an interesting position. Alamein is leading 1-0 with a free kick. 1-0 also the scoreline at Casey Field still. Melbourne City 0, Box Hill 1. Four-player wall assembled for Bulleen. Dustin, who scored from the spot, standing over it. Dustin trying to just put her laces through it, sent it straight into that wall. And maybe took out Yates, but play will continue. Ball cleared away. Leokopoulos has a step against Markovski. And then just gets her body between the striker and the ball. Still 4-0 for Avondale against Spring Hills. Not the way she would have wanted to observe it, but Natasha Dakic being celebrated by her teammates at Spring Hills today after making her 200th NPLW appearance for Spring Hills last week against Bulleen Lions. A huge accomplishment for Tash Dakic. Such an integral figure for Calder United during their dominant periods and an A-League women contract with Western United. Tom's wedge, looks it forward. Chelsea Blissett, yard of space on the left, a yard quickly closed down by Jordan. Yates, Jordan. Miocic, touch to take her away from pressure. That's a poor pass. Blissett comes up with it for Alamein. Markovski takes it off her. Maya Markovski. Forced back out wide by the Japanese centre-back. And then forced deep. Angel. Turnover. Alamein has it. Tilda Lowry. Just ran into the challenge from JG Garin. Mijicic sends it back to Jurado. Jurado has coughed it up, and it's off the post. Harriet Lowry. Again. That one might have been a better look than a previous one, but just unable to kill off this Bulleen side. Another reprieve. Blissett. Sliding challenge prevents her from getting something off. So by all rights, this game should be dead and buried. And Alamein cruise into 3 points, but it still remains 1-0. But time rapidly running out for FC Bulleen Lions to find an equaliser. As it stands, on that live ladder, they're finishing 4th. And they've got all hands on deck to defend this corner as well. All 11 Bulleen players in the penalty box. Markowski with a clearing header. But Alamein, in the form of Tom's wedge, have the space to recollect it. Blissett's delivery in. The intervention just cleared away by Bulleen. Blissett hurls it down the left. Ralph. Battles with Yates. Throw in for Yates. The bonce of Eliadis. Spills out to Blissett. Kane gets in her face, forcing her central. Shadara. Good first time ball. Dustin tried to get it moving. And as far as Cleo Angel. Turns on the Jets. Flicks it central. Gets through to Kane. Not first time effort, but the effort as she was being closed down. Snuffed out at the near post by Olivia Cohen, who on track to record another clean sheet. She had 4 at the start of the regular season before missing a bunch of time. Can she get a 5th? Bomford. Ball deflects away for a corner. So as the sun sets behind the Alamein goal, Bulleen have a set-piece opportunity. I think it's their first corner since they brought the tall timber of Markowski onto the pitch. Eliadis too has been known to score a headed goal. Can they take advantage? Decent looking delivery. Markowski the intended target. And she got her head on it. But the angle's not in her favour. So Neve Dustin's early penalty continues to be the difference between these two sides. Jordan battling with Chelsea Blissett. Shadara clears it away. Kane tries to turn. That's going to allow Ralph to get on it. Josefsky turns on the speed. Delivery in only as far as Yates. Eliadis scans, receives to Bomford. Laurie and Tom's wedge close her down. Former takes it. Gets it to the other Laurie. Spills out. Josefsky. Can she keep it in? Doesn't matter. She was offside. Got Miranda Templeman, who's standing up in the Alamein dugout. She is riding every bounce of these final minutes. The fourth official is about to signal how much added time we will observe here at Dorothy West Labour, as that one's cleared away. Offside, so Bulleen will have the ball. Yates trying to find Jordan. Blissett read it well. Ralph to Harriet Lowry. 3 minutes of added time is the signal from the fourth official. So an extra 180 seconds of football. 180 seconds for Bulleen to find an equaliser. 180 seconds more for Alamein to see out. Ball in the hands of Blissett on Alamein's attacking left-hand flank. Shilton wins the throw-in. Blissett. John Kyrgios instructing his side that he wants the ball locked in near that corner flag. But Yates claims the ball for Bulleen. Gets it to Kane. Knocks it forward over the head of Bomford. Spills out, Markovski on the scene. Maya Markovski stood up, lays it off for Eliadis. Tiff Eliadis, well, she just sort of hammered that in Angel's direction and she couldn't control it. Miocic to Garin. Kane, first time pass for Eliadis. Swings it in the Markovski direction, she brings it down. Lays it off! And the shot is splayed wide. Was that the final moment for FC Bulleen Lions? Meanwhile, Warrendara, late drama against Keilor. They've equalised in the 94th minute. An equaliser, looking at my live ladder, not enough to vault them back above South Melbourne into fifth. South Melbourne's win over Essendon, big for Hellas. Blissett did well. Knocked forward, Josefsky is coming through like lightning. Josefsky to kill this game. Josefsky's won it for Alamein. Full time rings out as Alamein ends the 2026 Senol NPL Women's Victoria regular season on a high, claiming the 2-0 scalp of FC Bulleen Lions, who will head into the playoffs as fourth place finishers. Alamein's 5-1 win over Spring Hill, Avondale's 5-1 win over Spring Hills will see the Avengers finish third. It's gone full time out at Lakeside too, with South Melbourne securing a 3-1 win over Essendon, so that locks in our first week of the finals. Avondale hosting Burundara at Avenger Park at the Reggio Calabria Club. South Melbourne, having fallen today 2-0 to Alamein, will host South Melbourne at the Veneto Club in the other elimination final. So 2 huge games to welcome us to the playoffs as Alamein secure a deserved win on their final day of the season to take some momentum into the off-season and 2027. Of course, the full-time result at Lakeside means that Box Hill will secure the premiership. Last minutes of their game against Casey Fields against Melbourne City, they'll looking like they'll win that game 1-0. Preston 2-1 over Melbourne Victory. Heidelberg 1-0 over Bentley Greens in games in the final stages. It finished 2-2 between Burundara and Keilor Park. So a dramatic regular season, one of the best regular seasons we've had in the Senol NPL Women's Victoria season for several years now. Comes to an end. One can only hope that the finals can live up to the billing they've been provided. Mind you, can catch every game of that finals campaign, every game of the Senol Men's Victoria finals campaign here, live and loud on the Football Victoria, NPL Victoria YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribed, be a friend, tell a friend, get them subscribed as well. For now though, from Dorothy West Labour Reserve, my name has been Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company this afternoon, where it has finished Alamein 2, FC Bulleen Lions 0. Thanks and success.